What I'd really like to ask is, everybody get out here for a second. I want everybody to kind of but for those of you that are leaving, has this program brought any type of understanding or helped you in your critical thinking when you leave? Because a lot of us are getting out of prison, and I want to know, is this program going to help you in some aspect of your life when you leave? And if it is, how?
Oh, okay. Hello. First of all, thank you for all coming. Appreciate all you guys coming throughout these years. I don't know if this was a setup question because this is my last show. Because I'm thankful to the Lord that He allowed me to go home after 22 years. This program and these people, these volunteers and these bonds I was able to make helped me to get to a place where I need to be able to show my authentic self, to speak, to actually be comfortable in who I am. And it helped me a lot. It helped me to realize that it's okay to be me, and it also helped me to build a community, a support network of people, family and friends, because I consider everybody on this stage as family. And it showed me how to communicate effectively, and it's okay to disagree, it's okay to get angry and all, but at the end of the day, it's not about the show, it's about the process. And it took me a long time to learn that, but this program also helped me to build some actual foundations for when I get out, something tangible that I can use to not only get a job, but to actually reach back to my community and the youth. So I'm thankful for this program and the people in it.
I was going to say this my speech, but something important I wanted to really say right now. And it's something that I figured out this script right here. I want to thank Soraya for real. Like, she really showed me basically how important this Shakespeare play is. Like, I was always getting a lot of questions from people saying, why you do Shakespeare? And I just really couldn't really answer it. I used to come up with therapeutic things and stuff like that. But it hit me on this play right here because she gave me Antipholus of Syracuse. It had so many lines in it. I wasn't ready for that at all. When I first got it, I was scared to death. And it hit me, it made me realize that, she really believed in me, you know what I mean? And I realized me growing up, being young, not having nobody that really believed in me besides my grandmother, but not really having people that really believed in me made me realize that, that's what y'all need, somebody to believe in us. I just want to thank Soraya for that. And I don't want to be too long, but she also cleared up a myth, because I used to always say I had a bad memory. I hear people say, I got a bad memory. I can't remember nothing. I got a bad memory. I used to always say that, and I remember so many lines. That right there, Soraya busted down the myth. Anyway, I just want to say, thank you, Soraya. Thank you.
My name is Kels, second merchant. Hi, buddy. Hey, the one right there, the one with the blue shirt. Hey, buddy. Now, I would say for me, what I'm gonna take with me is Shakespeare's a challenge. Like, this is a real life challenge. I mean, I never thought that I'd be doing Shakespeare ever in my entire life, right? Just coming from my background, where I grew up, I never thought Shakespeare would be a part of my life ever. So for me to embrace this as something that I possibly want to do when I get out, this is challenging. This is a challenge. So I would say to your question is being able to overcome a challenge and embrace that challenge, all right, and full steam ahead with it.
right, we got, Reese is gonna take this
Oh,
one.
no, I don't even know what the question was. I'm just asking.
That guy.
What was the question?
The question was, we're all leaving prison eventually, right? And what does this program give you? So when you leave, you adjust better to your circumstances out there, or what does it give you as far as network and help when you leave? What are some of the things that you take away personally and tangibly, I would say?
Well, for me, I've been doing Shakespeare for like 6 years now. I take away a lot from this. I really take away a lot from the new guys. They showed me. I learn something new every day. You know, sometimes I get stuck in my ways and say that I can't learn nothing, but I learn something from everybody. And to see these guys come up and step in these roles and take these big roles, you know what I mean? They give me education on how to reform myself and not to be scared and step up to the plate. And I would like to see like this when I get to the streets. I want to introduce this to a lot of young black males, because I figure if I would have had this on the streets, I probably wouldn't be here.
Great, so we have a mic thanks to Big Jason. So yes, if you could share your name and your comment or question.
My name's Brad.
Hey, Fred.
And
Hey, Fred.
my question is sort of the same question, except in reverse. For those of you that may not be ever leaving prison, how has Shakespeare influenced you?
So I'll speak to that. It's not that I'm never leaving prison, I don't have a date yet, and in some of us that is our situation. However, it helps us better interact with the people we're around. All of you, the guys, the officers, the free staff, everyone, it helps us better interact with them, because you can look at it from a different perspective. Because before, I didn't know how to look. I really had a problem changing the perspective of how I see something. I understood it, so you should have understood it the way I understood it. But it helps you change your perspective. It helps you, like the gentleman over here, Sir Maverick said, work with people in difficult situations. Like, it's always difficult for me. So I always have to find a way to work through the difficulty. And it's not always easy, sitting in the fire or dealing with it. I'd like to run away from it, but it helps me work with people when I'm not wanting to work with them.
Trap them in the park.
Unbelief. If I never leave prison, it's okay, because I'm not living for freedom. I'm just living life. So you could be in prison anywhere, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. I mean, you could be in prison all different type of ways. We choose our own prison by handcuffing our stuff, our life, to things in life. So we handcuff to those things, and we don't want to let it go because we're scared. But you could be free just to let it go, be in the moment, try to stay in your breath, meditating. And being in this program really helped me and changed the way I think and look at things. When I did Hamlet, how he wanted revenge, and everyone got killed because of him wanting revenge. So being in this program taught me revenge is not a good thing when I did Hamlet. Thank you.
Another question.
My question is a little bit on that same topic. My name's Ellen. Thank you.
Hi.
I first wanted to thank you because I don't often follow Shakespeare when I watch it, and I feel like the way that you guys brought in new humor and our own language really helped me understand the story. So thank you. It was great. And my question is, there was the scene with the two women at the beginning, and I felt like such a sense of, oh my God, they've been having this conversation forever of like, just be patient, he'll come back to you, and like, do I deal with his or stuff? And so I was just wondering if you all found other themes like that brought up for you in other parts as actors in their different parts of the play.
So what themes, what themes does this play stir up? And by the way, our next step of this process is we now look more closely at the themes of comedy of errors and apply them to our own lives to write original theater based on those themes. You know, like the one you're mentioning, the scene with the two women, like forgiveness, like misunderstandings. Anybody want to speak? What themes does this play really bring up for you?
I want to congratulate you again. This play right here, like you don't know, but like when I was growing up, I sold drugs for an older dude, right? And I had to give him part of the money that I made. And so it was times I didn't have his money, and it was like he never pressed me like that, but the pressure that you put on me by me owing him really affected me a lot. Many times I didn't have it. And this play right here just really hit on point for real. You know what I mean? Real for real. So that's what this, this play right here that's did for me for real.
Hello, my name is Antoine. What I really found in this play was that there's a difference between feelings and facts. And there is no such thing as one truth. With the brothers, even though they both were telling the truth, like I was there, you didn't answer the door, like I'm telling you I was there. Everybody actually were speaking honestly, they were speaking truth. And it makes me realize that in life, when we see something a certain way, we perceive it and we hold it like it's the gospel, like it's the truth, we can be wrong. But only we hold it that way because it's our feelings. And we believe that our feelings will never mislead us when at times they can. Just because we haven't spoken honestly or we haven't communicated properly and efficiently enough to make sure that we are all seeing things the same way. And that's the first thing that I noticed. Is for the brothers, for the women to say, even the Dromios, everybody were telling the truth. You gave me the money, I went and got the chain. I did what I was supposed to do. My husband's in the house. I'm not answering this door. I'm out here, you're my wife, why aren't you answering? Everybody was being extremely honest. But there was just a lack of communication. And just small moments where communication lacks, it leads to major mishaps. And it just makes me believe that not only is communication key, but translating effectively is what makes all of us say, okay, I see what you're saying, and it makes it easier for us to be like, okay, I was wrong. My feelings were wrong. I didn't know everything that came with me. So I think this play speaks to more issues than just a comedy of errors. It speaks to let's really, really talk. Let's not let our feelings and our angers and our mistrust be the thing that pushes in directions that we may not necessarily know is good for us at that time. Thank
you. I feel him with both hands on that by being led by your feelings, and I learned how to not be led by my feelings. I'm supposed to be led by my faith. Faith in the people up here, my faith in my Lord, Savior, Jesus Christ. But personally, this play made me realize something that's going on in my own life. So, to me, the theme in here was like identity. Trying to find out who I am. And the antitheses, they didn't know who they were because they didn't have their parents in their life. And so it caused them to search for this. And it makes me think of myself. This family was all distraught because of one instance, one situation that separated all of them. And it makes me think of myself, how I was separated from my wife and my son, and we going through so much stuff. Just like this, my son is going through identity crisis, and he's 15 years old, and this play just made me see how important it is, how necessary it is for me to be in his life, to give him that sense of balance. His whole family was shaken out of balance once they were separated on that shipwreck. And it seemed like everybody in here was looking for identity, even the Romeos and some form of action. It just made me look at myself. Every Shakespeare play that I have had the opportunity to be in, Sarati and Wesley, I'm not even going to talk about them, how they cast and stuff, but each play, I see myself in it, you know, and it really started dawning on me when they had cast me as Mark Anthony in Julius Caesar, and that's when I realized that Shakespeare spoke to a human condition that everybody can relate to if we transparent enough to look at ourselves and address these issues.
Your question.
Hi, my name is Derry. I'd like to say, man, that was a great play. Awesome. Question that is, for all you who have multiple groups, jobs, and whatnot, what are some of the techniques you use to memorize them lines?
My name is Darwin, and everybody knows me by Tone. What I do to memorize lines.
Can you hear us here?
What I do to memorize a line, take it to work with me, take it to the yard. Just sleeping, just keep going on. That's what I do.
Yeah, so for me, I'm a hip hop artist. So I do a lot of writing, I write a lot of stuff, so it's fairly easy for me to memorize lines, and sometimes it's not because when you're in the moment, sometimes things happen, but for the most part, to memorize the lines, I kind of like, you know, what Tall said, like we take the script, I take the script everywhere I go, basically. I even had my boss yell at me one time, like, hey man, you supposed to be cleaning, reading the Shakespeare script, I'm like, I gotta play today, why don't you, just give me some, be cool, right? But I take it everywhere, and it becomes a part of me, and give some props to my brother right here, Mr. Reese, this guy right here, him and Banks. One thing that they taught me was to, when you're rehearsing these scripts, to embody these characters. So you start to make it a part of you, so even when subconsciously you might be brushing your teeth, you brush your teeth how you would move in your character when you're on stage. All right, when you put your pants on, when you put your shirt on, you become your character, so it becomes natural to you how you move, how you talk, everything. So when it gets to that point, that's how it's been easy for me to memorize my lines, thanks to these guys up here and a few other guys. Thank you.
I said I was going to do this too. So Luke, the Shakespeare lines, it's opposite for me. It's me and my boy Luke right there, we're machinists. And I'm bragging right now, I'm really bragging right now. It's like, we are machinists, right? And doing and building parts on the computer, camming it, taking it to the machines, and doing it doing our repetitions, and doing it over and over and over. Me and him sit together over and over and over. We go over my Shakespeare lines, and then here, we'll talk about that. But the Shakespeare lines helps us with the machine. So I want to give a shout out to Luke, shout out to the Shakespeare script and everybody else.
Apropos of this question, could you give our outside guests an idea of what your daily schedule is like and what kinds of jobs you do in here? I think they'd be interested to hear that.
7:30 in the morning, I go to work after I argue a little bit with a tear. And I go to work until 3. Within that time, stuff happens and I may poach a group. What I mean by poach a group, I may go down there and see these guys and we will process in the yard. Or there will be a day I have off and then I have a class at 9:30 to 10. Then I will go down to the education from about 10 to 12. I'm upstairs, go back down and one to another class. Everything is back to back, and sometimes I'm late. And then there's a night class, and we have packing classes. Packing 3 days a week for 2 hours.
and then you may have AA, NA, Shakespeare, artistic ensemble. You may have all these in this. Like I had 15 groups a week, and some of those groups were 3 times a week, every day, and that's a job.
Again, my name is Antoine Williams. I am actually a producer of the podcast Ear Hustle. So I, from 8 in the morning till 8 at night, depending on days that I don't have a group, I am working on the podcast. I'm producing, I'm editing scripts, I'm creating music, I'm interviewing guys. So I have at least on my easy day a 10-hour workload straight from 8 in the morning till sometimes 8 at night at the long end. But outside of that, it's groups, Patton, Shakespeare, I think it's an artistic ensemble, work. I have a lot. Painting. I mean, it's so much that we all do in passing. Like we are in a number of groups together, and it's like, okay, I'll see you this day, I'll see you this time. So in between that, I think all of our schedules are extremely hectic.
Right, I'm very proud of myself. My schedule goes like this. I go to machine shop Monday through Friday from 6 o'clock to 1 o'clock. On Mondays, then I go to groups from 3 to 5. I go to Patton, Puck University Project from Tuesdays and Thursdays from 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Wednesday, of course, Shakespeare, that I never miss a class at all. Thursday, a lot of us go to a mic session, and we also I go to Restorative Justice mic session. I go to Restorative Justice that night, on Thursday night. Friday, CGA, Criminal Gang Anonymous, garden, absolutely gardening. Then Saturday, I got Grip from 3 to 5. Grip is seat moments and stuff like that. And I cannot forget, Mother Jackson is going to chapel, this beautiful church right here. I cannot forget her. She helps keep me grounded just as well as Soraya, Janice, Mother Kate, Sharon, and the rest of our family right here. So we all have groups just like this. And let me stop.
Thank you, Drew. I think there's that question in the back.
Yeah, so first I want to say you guys are amazing. Honestly, sincerely. My heart, I was having a bad day, I came in here and it just brightened my whole day.
There you go.
Mav, you're awesome. Banks, Reese. So I want to know who came up with this 2018 edition of the Electric Slide? And how can I learn how to do it?
That was a Banks rendition. That was
Electric Swag.
That was an Antoine Bernard.
Electric
choreographed.
Swag.
Yeah, it's called the Electric Swag.
Because my daughter, she's really on my line right now. She really trying to show me out. So when I get out in September, I want to be able to, you know what I mean, do that. Make that happen for the whole family too. So before you leave, bro, put me on. Cause I'm up there messing up the whole routine.
Is this shy over here?
What's that?
Is this shy over here?
I don't know. Raise your hand if you're shy. Over here, maybe. We have another question.
Hi, my name is Liz. Thank you all so much. What really struck me was how much joy and how much physicality there was. And so I kind of have a dual question. One is, how did you discover all that amazing physicality to bring your stories and your characters to life? And then how did that physicality affect the rest of your day? You know, how you move through the rest of your days?
I'll touch on that a little bit. I think Soraya lets us express ourselves. She don't let us fall back. Lets us express ourselves, and sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't, but she allows us to express ourselves. And what was the second part of your question?
Well, just because there's so much movement and physicality and joy, I'm just wondering, does that transform your day? Or I'm just wondering what the effect of that process is for the rest of the day.
Well, as you guys saw, we have fun out here.
Yeah.
So, and if you just heard you come in a bad mood, and you can just leave in a good mood. So the vibe and the energy amongst the group is genuine. It's genuine love, it's genuine careness, and we argue, we laugh, we work hard, we clown around, but we get the job done. So you can come in one mood, and trust me, we leave in a whole better mood when it's all said and done. And we all lean on each other, and we express ourselves, and it's a good vibe because of Soraya, Mama Kate, Janice. It's just the whole freestyle. It's just a good vibe out here. It just really is.
My name is Ray Ray.
Your name is Joe.
Sorry. For my character, Drummer of Syracuse, right? That's like, he's like in my mirror. It's like crazy because he's goofy, right? And like Soraya and Leslie, I know they always see me because I'm always joyful, like hyper, smiling and stuff. And yeah, like I really got into this character. I ain't gonna lie, I really got into this character. But yeah, I taught like Reese, everybody taught me how to get in the character. And like my character, I use him as like very animated, you know? So like, it's like he was like a superhero and all that stuff. So always helping out. Got a little goofy run, because all the cartoons that they watch. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
We're big believers in the power of play.
Yeah.
And,
Hello, Soraya.
yeah!
I'll give my 5 minutes.
Go for it.
So Soraya gave us the free will to let us kind of do what we're going to do, but still stay in the context of the story. So a lot of this stuff comes from rehearsal. 85% of this, we just joke around. We discover new stuff by just playing around with throwing each other around and falling and say, "Oh, that's good. We're going to use that." And so it just comes organic because we play around 85% of the time, but we still understand what's going on in the story and the stuff that we fall and joke around with. We just some of the stuff we came up with today because it was just so funny. Some stuff I ain't never seen before today. It surprised me. So that's how much of this stuff just comes up out of nowhere. But Soraya gave us the free will to do what we do, and just as long as we stay consistent with the play, and you get this. So.
So yes, we have time for a few more questions. I see in the back and then over here. Great. So in the back first, yes.
Yeah, I just got a question. As far as organic and reflection, I would like to know from every single one individually, what type of organic fruit or vegetable would you consider this event today? Everyone, yeah, they'll say that. What organic fruit or vegetable?
My fruit would be a Jewish mango. Mango steam. Yes.
Mine's an orange carrot.
I'll play an eggplant, and I have no idea why.
Jesus Christ. I'm not just gonna say like a fruit bowl. A fruit bowl.
A cookie.
I gotta go with watermelon. I like watermelon.
Okay.
I would say a big bowl of banana pudding. I don't used to make banana pudding, but this
A celery.
Oh yeah. A tomato because it was red and we had no bricks.
Oh my God. I'm going to say tomato.
Veto. Like Idris right now. I love you at the same time. I would say orange. Orange.
Fruit. Why?
That's a vegetable?
No. Get me gone, slave.
No. I would say like I don't know. I like a carrot. I like a carrot. Yeah.
Passion fruit.
Louisiana avocado, because you could make guacamole. First off, it's not antipholus, it's antitholus.
Next question.
Great, thank you for that organic food question. I don't think we've ever had that question before. Very unique. So I think we have 2 more questions and then we'll close. So yes, would you like to say your name and tell us your question or comment? Yes?
Go for it. I'm Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Hey, Sharon. Oh, Sharon 1, Sharon 2. And I just wanted to ask, with the set changes, the set changes. I mean, to me, I've seen theater here and San Francisco, wherever, and it was so clever. I just thought it was a clever way of telling and I really don't think I've seen it quite like that.
Never again either. Oh, Jesus. Again, so, like my brother Billy was saying, a lot of this stuff is organic, and I think it was last Wednesday, because I was supposed to, this past Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, 2 days ago, I'm lost. I just was stagehands. I was supposed to have a bigger part, but some stuff happened, and that wasn't able to. But I'm like, man, what if I just do it like a ninja? Just totally just really saying, like, what if I do like a ninja? And Reese like, try it. Why not? And I didn't tell Soraya. And he was like, hey, see ninja, we're gonna do this. So I don't know. It just I wanted you guys to see how much we have fun and I just was really hoping y'all was gonna do it.
So one thing I do want to say is that our cup really floweth over with talent in this group. It's funny because instead of having a captive audience, we have a captive labor force. And they're incredible. And like Banks is an incredibly creative guy. These guys there's incredible creativity here. So as Banks said, right, originally we had him as actually being Antipholus, but because of a whole bunch of other stuff that is too detailed to go into, in the end, he was playing a smaller role, and therefore we had him, and therefore we could do something with things that, you're right, are often done very sort of routinely. And because he's not going to do anything in an ordinary way. He's just going to come out there and be creative. And there's that. And I also want to say, because of the way that as the guy said before, they're all programmed and there's so many things going on, even in their daily lives, like for example, I have this great sound guy. Is he still here, Stephen?
Go.
Oh, okay. So like Stephen came and he learned all the sound cues on Wednesday. He's great to work with. And then, but he had to go to the canteen like right before the show started. So all of a sudden we like lost our sound guy right as the show was starting. And so then Big Jason, who's actually not in our Wednesday class, but in our Friday class, he's like there, and we're just like grabbing him, and all of a sudden we make him our sound guy. So he's had no chance to rehearse, and yet he leaps in and starts helping out, and same with Nate and Carlos and all these guys. We just are so lucky to have them and have them like be here and be here for the group, even when they're not even technically part of this group. So anyway, that's my shout out.
Thank you, Sharon. Great. Health.
So with the with the singers, right? So we actually scripted the part when he came on and he said he dropped his line. Like so we was right here, right? And he rolled over and he said he dropped his line. I was like, oh, we gonna use that in the play. It just happened just like that. So we picked the place where we could do it, and then he was like, man, just work it out. So we didn't tell Survivor, right? So he didn't tell Soraya. So it just happened, and then Richie was like, because the way everything came out, it was like after he said that, he was like, see how he introduced me, right? So it went great, right? But that's how it happens. Like everything is just organic, and it just happens in moments just like that. He flipped it, was like, hey man, that probably will work. Let's try it. And it just came out the way it did, but so it was great.
Great, yes, we love saying yes and the great improv rule. Yes to what's coming up and building on it.
Be a restriction.
We got a question, yes.
Hi, my name is Lisa.
Hi,
Lisa. And I just want to say how much you inspire me. Because 6 years ago is the first time I ever saw Shakespeare, and it was right here. And I've only seen you guys do Shakespeare. I haven't seen it on the outside. So I love Shakespeare.
We jaded you.
You jaded me, yeah. I tried to watch it the other way. I haven't gotten there yet. But part of what I love too is your question and answers, and I appreciate the depth of your answers and the heart that you bring to us and what you share for all the people. There's a lot of people here who've never been inside, and where you shared about we have our own prisons, you know, each and every one of us, you know, you guys have found your freedom inside. And I guess my question would be, what is it for somebody who's never been in here before, what is the one thing you want them to leave with? What do you want them to take out with them?
We're human.
We are not defined by our crime.
And don't believe everything you hear in the media, because we're portrayed as something we're not. Come in here, meet us, take a tour, get to know us, and your perspective on laws and what you hear on the media will completely change.
Yeah, I'd like to say something to our outside guests who maybe have never seen Shakespeare except here in this room. Tonight, we open Hamlet at our professional theater at Forest Meadows Amphitheater on the campus of Dominican University in San Rafael. And I invite you all to come and see that. Later in this season, we're going to be doing Pericles. It stars Damian Brown, who got his start as an actor in a program like this at Solano Prison. And after serving 23 years, when he paroled, 13 months later, he played Othello at our theater, and that was 3 summers ago. Last summer, he was Benedict, and this summer, he's playing Pericles. He won the Bay Area Theater Prize for Best Actor for Othello. Yeah. He's become a professional actor, and starting June 11th, he's going to be a full-time staff member at Marin Shakespeare Company, our first ever artist in residence. That's really cool. And if you are able to come see him play the role of Pericles, you're also going to see some choreography. The choreographer we've hired for Pericles is Choi. Who got his training under Mr. Anton Banks, and who's been out of prison for 2 months now, and he's going to be the choreographer for Pericles this summer. So please don't only see Shakespeare here, come see the Forest Meadows as well. I just had to say that. Thanks, Lisa, for giving me that opening.
Where do we go to get tickets?
Yeah. So the other thing is, I hope one day every single one of you will be at that theater, on stage or off. Marin Shakespeare Company has a policy that you get free tickets for life. You can come with your friends and family to see performances at Forest Meadows. All you gotta do is get out of here. We'll do the tickets, you do that first part.
Yeah, somebody that's a part of our Shakespeare family on the stage that might not be with here, more than likely, sure he's not going to be with us on our next play. So, with that being said, Maverick, I want to know, what are you going to take away from this being your last play? Maverick.
Well, I thought I answered this already. I'm going to take away a lot of stuff, but in short, the ability to actually believe that I'm enough, that I actually matter, that I can change the world, because I've always wanted to be an actor, because the TV was my mother, my babysitter, my best friend, and and this gave me a chance to live out my dreams, and not only do that, but to touch somebody else. So I'm taking that away. I'm taking away all my relationships.
And I think we're gonna end here. Oh, is there one more question?
Well, hi, I'm Liz again. It's kind of a radical question, but I was really struck by, I don't know which one of you said, what I'd like you to take away is that we're human. I run a theater company for adults with special needs, and a lot of times people don't think that they're human, and a lot of times people think that they're children and that they're less than, and I'm just wondering, if I could ever bring them here. I don't know what it is for them to get clearance to come. And if you would ever be willing to talk to them, because we do Shakespeare with them, we write our own plays, we sing, we dance, and yeah, all right. So then I'll ask them. I think you guys are so amazing, and to see your joy and your freedom and your love would be just so brilliant for them, and to create another kind of relationship with people they would normally meet. So, all right, I'm more on it.
Anyway, what I would like for you to leave with, to be able to tell your inner child that hurt people, and guilt people, guilt people.
Thank you.